Back at the Bradley Center here in Milwaukee, Gary Woelfel. I'm Josue Pavone. Gary, as we look ahead to Game 5, how do the Bucks bring that intensity that we saw here in Games 3 and 4 into Boston for Game 5?
Well, I think everybody, in particular the Bucks bench, has to step up and play as well as they did the last two games. Jabari Parker was a no-show, and I shouldn't really say a no-show. He only played 15 minutes in Game 1. He only played 10 minutes in Game 2. In Game 3, he played 30 minutes and was a major factor in the Bucks' win. Today, he played somewhere around 25 minutes, I think, somewhere in that ballpark. And it was
still a big difference from Games 1 and 2. Yeah.
Exactly, and I think Jabari has to play at that level for the Bucks to win on Tuesday night.
If John Henson is available, what happens there? You know, do you plug him into the starting lineup? If so, how do you monitor his minutes? How do you split those minutes up between Thon Maker and guys like, of course, Jabari Parker, who have been playing so well out of the second unit?
Yeah, I mean, if I was a guessing man, I would say that John Henson isn't going to play Tuesday night. I saw him tonight before the game.
Doesn't look good. Yeah.
He was hobbling. He was really hurting, and he told me his back locked up in Game 2, and that he played through it. And you know what? If I'm the Bucks, I say, John, take your time.
don't ruin it now. Don't shake up the rhythm, right?
I mean, the chemistry is incredible right now with Thon Maker on the floor, and I like John Henson a lot, and I do hope he comes back from the Bucks standpoint because he can help him.
Right.
But as of right now, I would say it's highly doubtful he plays in Game 5.
Well, speaking of big men, let's swing things over to the Celtics side. Marcus Morris expressed his frustration after this game. Of course, he talked about how the referees have really been on his back. Of course, he has been fined for what he said about the referees after Game 3.
You know, I'm not doing a lot of chit chatter. I'm being physical and watching these other games, and you know they're getting warnings, and I'm not. It's just straight. To me, it's technical foul. I just got fined. You know, and I'm not pretty, worried about that. It's just, when you come to work every day and you put your heart and soul into something, and you just feel like, it's just a quick whistle.
But what it boiled down to was the fact that he says that, listen, this is playoff basketball. We are grown men, as he said.
Yeah.
The stakes are high. There's going to be physicality. He feels like the referees is getting so bad that he's not able to do his job at his 100% capabilities. Where's your take? Where do you fall in this conversation? Are the referees calling way too much fouls? Is it a bit one-sided? What's your take on it?
It's been a physical game. After the Bucks got down 0-2, several Bucks told me that they wanted to make this a physical series, that they felt the Celtics were delivering the first blow and they weren't responding to it, and they wanted to come out in Game 3 and Game 4 and deliver the first blow. And I think you're going to try to see that again on Game 5. Tyler Zeller is more physical than John Henson was. I think inserting Malcolm Brogdon into the starting lineup gave him more physicality. But, if I was going to give some advice to Morris, I'd say forget about the officials. Worry about your own game.
That's right.
Exactly.
Play your game. Yeah.
You can't, because if you're worrying about the officials, you're not worried about your own game.
That's right.
So he's got to be more focused and concentrate on that aspect of the game.
Al Horford had a similar comment, just like what you said after Game 3. Wasn't after today's game, but it was after Game 3. He talked about how, listen, we just have to, the referees, some calls could have gone either way, but we have to play our game and we have to just focus on actually winning the game and not worried about the referees and not get into that kind of conversations with the refs.
Yeah, I think another big factor for the Celtics in Game 5 will be Terry Rozier getting back on track.
Right.
I mean, he was sensational in Game 1, sensational in Game 2, and now he's tapered off, and they need him desperately. Yeah. He's got to play at a high level, and Bledsoe is starting to feel some confidence going against him now, and I think Terry's got to turn that around and say, hey, I'm the guy like I was in Game 1 and
right.
Game 2.
You're going to remember my name this time, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, no more Drew stuff.
That's right. Well, we'll see what happens as the series switches over to TD Garden for Game 5. I will be in the building. Gary, I know you said if this thing goes 7, you'll make the trip to Boston.
Absolutely.
Are you sticking to that?
Yeah, I thought the game series would go 7 games.
I did too. So
and nothing's changed. So.
Okay, so there's a good chance we'll see Gary in Boston. Is that what you're saying?
That's what you're saying. For better or worse.
All right, I'm going to hold Gary to that.
There you go.
Once again, he is Gary Woelfel. I am Josue Pavone. This has been the Garden Report for CLNS Media, coming at you from Milwaukee.